get right to the baseball action today, shall we? This game goes off at 3:07 Eastern, 12:07 Pacific on ABC. I'm ready for uh, the crew to come in there with their yellow blazers and broadcast this series. I guess it's just the way it's worked out. Now, probably has something to do with the writer's strike or something. I don't think these games are initially scheduled to be on ABC, but maybe they were with this contract. Who knows where the games end up? The Rays hosting the Rangers here. Jordan Montgomery for the Rangers and Tyler Glasnow for the Rays. Rays here at least $1.50 in this one. Opened as low maybe as $1.40 or reached $1.40 anyway. And take a look at maybe the current line here. Yeah, $1.45, $1.50, maybe even a little higher at some of the square shops. The total's currently at 7.5. At 7.5 flat. Just call it for what it is. There were some openers as high as 8, juice to the under. I would expect to see good pitching here from Tyler Glasnow. I hope Jordan Montgomery can do the same and live up to his end of the deal. It's been rough go for Montgomery this season, but he came over to the Rangers, and the Rangers have gone 4-7 with Montgomery so far. So I don't know if it's necessarily worked out altogether, but well, if you were ever going to have a guy like Jordan Montgomery in form, you're getting him right now. He's got a 0.67 ERA in his last 4 starts. He's looked like exactly what you got him for. But you have the Rays, who are pretty dynamite at home. They really, we don't always think of the Rays as I've got them as my number 7 lineup coming into the postseason out of all the teams. I think all the offenses are in the play, all the top offenses anyway. Maybe other than San Diego, but nonetheless, Tampa Bay with Glasnow, he has not been as sharp of late. Obviously, he's got the most of the experience as far as big game pitching against Montgomery. Tampa Bay comes in having won 4 of their last 5 games down the stretch, and they've won 6 of their last 9 at home as the Rays return here in the postseason. They're a staple. In the postseason. When you think about the teams, right? We talk about them. Oh, they always got to overcome the Red Sox. They've got to overcome the Yankees. And now the Orioles win the division, but Tampa's still there. They're the team still in the playoffs. They don't have any hiatuses or anything like that. You have Kevin Cash, a plethora of postseason experience, 32 games at the helm. As far as Texas, well, they got an experienced manager, I'll say so, and Bruce Bochy, 3 World Series titles. So Tampa Bay 51-29 to the over at home this season. That's pretty. That's the most significant of any of the home road splits on totals for sure. I believe out of all these postseason teams. Now the Rangers did lose 3 of their last 4. That's why they're in this situation. Didn't win the division, so a little bit of negative momentum coming in here in this one. I expect Montgomery to continue his decent form anyway. I don't know if he can, come up with another hot shutout, but his last 3 starts did go under the total. As far as Glasnow, Tampa Bay is 12-9 in his starts this season, but just 5-5 at home. He has not performed that well in the playoffs in his career, 5.75 ERA and a 2.5 record, but he really has done very, very well against the Rangers. He has a 0.46 ERA in 3 starts with a 3-0 record. Meanwhile, Montgomery, 13 career starts against Tampa Bay, 5.12 ERA. Montgomery has appeared in the postseason. He has 1 start and a 1.35 ERA and 2 postseason appearances. Maurice likes the Rays. And Darren likes the Rays as well. Yeah, the price is a bit uncomfortable, but considering the run that the Rays are on, well, I say run. I maybe just equate the experience and all that. Texas here, like I said, they gave it up late, and on the road, it seems like where they kind of give it up. They've lost 8 of their last 10 on the road. So I've got Glass now here, even with Tampa Bay. Maybe I could just say that was regular season. I've got this game going under here at 7.5 flat as my play here on the show. I'm going to go under. Like I said, Montgomery. Hopefully his form holds. That's why they got him, and you need him to. I don't want to say be a stopper here, but just the fact that he has pitched so well to get that first win it would be crucial here, obviously, for all the teams. But let's take a look at the under in this one. Montgomery to continue that form here. So, look, it's been a while for Texas. Darren says he bought it all the way up to 8.5 here. Be interested to see actually what that. I'll see what maybe I can see what it is now at an increased price, Darren, and how much of a because we know that this line has trickled down slightly. I would say off of the general opener. This one opened. There were definitely some eights out there, including DK. So you may have been able to get a little bit better price, at least on an 8.5 than what it is right now. I would imagine it's pretty high at this point. If it's because it's seven, I'd say 7.5 flat is the general price, and 8.5 minus 160. That's not awful what I'm seeing right now. Texas in the under for Munchie. Appreciate you guys and your plays today. I'm giving out the under in this one. I'll have a premium play in this one on the side. So join me over at tonyspicks.com for my premium picks and all the picks from our crew. All right, the Blue Jays and the Twins in Game 2 of the I guess evening. If you're talking over on the East Coast, now the games do overlap a little bit. This one's on ESPN, goes off at 4:38 Eastern, 1:38 Pacific, with Kevin Gosman on the road against Pablo Lopez. Well, price here opened mostly around a pick 'em, maybe slight favoritism for Minnesota, and I think that's kind of what we're looking at still. Minnesota just the slightest of favorites here with Lopez, 3.67 ERA this season. Gosman with a 3.16 ERA. Gosman has a 2-2 record with a 1.75 earned run average in his last 4 starts. Toronto did lose 4 of their last 6 games heading down the stretch. Meanwhile, Minnesota, well, we know what their story is in the postseason. It's uncomfortable to talk about, but maybe that's why they're not favored by more and Kevin Gosman. But Minnesota, of course, has not won a playoff game in 19 years. They have lost 18 straight in the playoffs. They're not playing the Yankees, at least, but they did win 8 of their last 11 down the stretch. And for Gosman and the Blue Jays, Gosman 8-7 record for Toronto in his 15 road starts in 7 playoff games, which includes just 2 starts, a 4.57 earned run average with an 0-1 record. Career versus the Twins, not very good actually. 6.35 ERA, 11 career starts. Blue Jays did play well on the road down the stretch, winning 7 of their last 10 games. For Lopez, he's got a 6.46 ERA in his last 3 starts, but Minnesota did go 10-5 at home with Lopez. And he did have a playoff start 3 years ago where he gave up 2 runs in 5 innings pitched. He has a 5.5 ERA in 2 starts against Toronto. And this total did open, yeah, look, 7/30. I think in general you're looking mostly at 7.5. So I'm just trying to get creative sometimes to try to give the line, but showing DK 7.5 under 18. Some Vegas books 7.5 under, but some offshore books 7 over. And I'll update it. I'll grade myself at 7.5 because I want to go over in this one actually. So why not make it tough on myself? I'll call it 7.5 under 15. That's probably the worst line that you can get for someone who wants to take the over. So why not challenge myself a little bit here? See some of your comments on this one. Hey, good morning to Verley. Maurice likes the Twins on the run line. Despite that 18-game postseason losing streak, he likes Minnesota to crush here today. That's the only pick so far in the Blue Jays and the Twins game. Here comes Verley with his pick. So far, he's got Minnesota in this one. He's going with both home teams, and he also will buck the 0 for 18 trend here with Minnesota against a playoff experienced team, I would say, right? Third time in the last 4 years for Toronto to make the postseason. So I'm going to end up on the over here with if Gosman on the road. Okay, he was good down the stretch for once, right? Hey, he's had a good ERA, good season, no doubt about it. Hey, here comes some props in there from you guys. Let's take a look at the lineups here also in this game. I see Tone has Matt here for home run today. I expect, let's see, probably batting second here in this lineup today. Look, Twins. Here's the thing, maybe about the Twins. I'm not necessarily, but here's Virginia King. I want to say Virginia King. I probably should just say VA King just in case. Let me see something here, though. I'll figure this out. I'm a detective. I know what's going on. He just put 703 right there. All right. Virginia King it is. 703. I didn't know 703. Do area codes matter? I mean, they do, but now with the cell phones, I guess you still get your area mostly, but now you get just some weird numbers sometimes. But I know it's Virginia King now. I didn't know 703 was Virginia. I do now. Maybe I didn't know actually. All right. Jays on the money line for Darren. Here's good night munchies on the Jays. Is that a Jay? Is that a Blue Jay? Virginia King says the Jays play better on the road. Was that the case? Was that the case this season? I wasn't sure that was because we know some of the issues. Certainly, let's see. Yeah, 46-35. Nice job. And Minnesota pretty good at home, 47-34. And should note Minnesota as a run line favorite, 54 and 58. But Toronto mentioned from what Virginia King said, playing better on the road, and Toronto not a run line dog that much, but 25-15. Now, granted, they are laying $2, so yeah, I guess that doesn't add up necessarily. All right. Over's my pick, anyways. Lopez has gone over in 4 of his last 5 starts. So I've got this one going over tonight at 7.5 under 15. And we'll see. Two's a coincidence and 3's a pattern. What do they say? But at 18, that feels like permanent. So you almost got to pull. Other than for those, those Blue Jays fans, let's give them. They've been trying to get over the hump. Hello to Thomas today, but you almost start to feel bad a little bit for a team you'd like, as a general sports fan, for them to get over an 18 playoff drought. That's pretty drastic, right? We, we know that their woes in the postseason mostly against the Yankees, but and again, I'm not equating the opponents versus the opponents, but you know, from the same division anyway, Blue Jays anyway. So, all right, I'm going to take the over in this one. All right, let's move on to evening action here now. And right, so that's what I mean. I guess this one, maybe the other game will still be in the ninth inning. I'm sure it will. I'm sure we'll see what games lengthen a little bit here in the postseason, but that's okay. Uh, Brandon Fott here goes up against Corbin Burns. Fott does not look ready for prime time necessarily, right? If you look at his numbers, but credit to the Diamondbacks, they've stuck with him. Look, he is, he can be a strikeout pitcher, no doubt about it. So, they're still rolling with him. I'm sure it's the best option for them right now, considering where they're at. I mean, they would not put him out there, but his numbers were just so gaudy during the regular season, right? He comes in with a 5.72 ERA, but he did pitch improved down the last part of the season. He had a 4.68 earned run average in September. We'll mention that Arizona, they went 8-11 with Fott, but they were underdogs sometimes on the road. It wasn't a terrible situation here. And with this one right now, at $1.75 or so, just not sure you're getting the right price still with Fott. I want to say that, I want to give Arizona a big chance here. But for Burns, he started to, regain his form. Yeah, there was a time where he was not um, perfect. He started off the season strong, and then maybe in midway, past the All Star break, also a little bit not as good as he was all season. But I think the numbers pan out for Burnsy with a 3.39 ERA this season, 1.59 ERA in his last four starts. Milwaukee did win four of its last five games down the stretch, despite not having much to play for. They've gone 9-4 in their last 13 at home, and the Brewers, they've got plenty of playoff experience. I mean, they've made the playoffs in 5 of the last 6 years, often with some disappointing results, no doubt. As far as Arizona is concerned, they're back from the playoffs for the first time in 6 years. They lost 6 of their last 9 on the road, lost uh, 4 straight, managing just 3 runs down the stretch. So that's where I have a problem right now with Arizona coming into this game. Now, you got an inexperienced pitcher. This is the biggest mismatch, obviously, in the odds as well. Let's see, we might have some comments here. Plenty of on the Brewers here in this one. We got Mike. Mike actually likes this game to go over. Fott did go under in 4 of his last 6 starts. The the general steam, the most widely reported steam, did appear to come in on the over in this game. Brewers have trended under down the stretch, going over in just 3 of their last 10 games. But in general, there's not a lot of trends to support heavily on the under here with the Brewers as a big home favorite, and the Diamondbacks as a considerable road dog. Those are negligible. Burns has 7 playoff appearances, 15 innings, just 1 start, interestingly enough. 1.2 ERA in 7 games. So this kind of feels like, almost like Burns' moment to a certain extent. You'd think he'd have more starts than that. 3.77 ERA in 5 starts against Arizona and a 2-1 record. So going to end up on the Milwaukee run line here, at least in this first game. I'm not sure it'll be a sweep. Remember, I probably should have said it at the top of the. Let me give these other picks out here as well. Didn't mean to leave Mike up there too that long, just in case, Mike. We know we're going to win all of our plays today. Here's M looks Brewers first 5. He also likes the Brewers in the game. Maurice likes the Brewers. Darren says Brewers and the under. How about Burley? He's got Brewers first 5, and he's also got them on the money line. Rodney says, I can't pass it up. I want that plus money. Give me the Diamondbacks. I was just concerned I'm not getting quite the right price. I think $1.75 might be a fair price here in this one. Good morning to Ray as well today. And Pritchett says, B-Fod had a 3-0 road win against the White Sox on Wednesday. The Hunters hitting 6 of the last 10 meetings between these two. Mike says last meeting between these two was a 5-1 win for the Brewers. All right. Now, I think I'm going to be giving the Diamondbacks a shot, possibly in the next 2 games, but just in the next game. But I say next 2 like they're going to win. Remember, this is a best of 3, and it's all played at one location. There's no switching. That's what we're doing in the wild card. Probably not the best, man. I think baseball needs to fix this a little bit. Shorten the season, get into the playoffs sooner. That's what you need to do nowadays. And they can make these 3 of 5 possibly and get to 2 sites. Why not make more money? All right, maybe I don't have all the answers, but I'll take Corbin Burns here on the run line. The widely reported steam did come in on Arizona as far as the side is concerned. The Brewers, I think they started to take. Brewers were like $1.95 when the Arizona money came in. So no problem. It's a playoff game. I get it, but if anything, you probably have the worst option, right? If you just go over the overall numbers and all the starters in game 1, right? Brandon Pfaadt is the least qualified of any of these pitchers over the first 4 games of the playoffs here. So, and if anything, Burns is probably the best of the options, right? I mean, you'd probably take him over Glass now. You'd probably take him over Gausman and Lopez and the next matchup as well. All right, for me, it's Milwaukee run line, and appreciate your plays as well. Here's the Marlins and the Phillies with Jesus Luzardo going up against Zach Wheeler. Wheeler down to $1.55 or so off of a high. The widely reported steam came in on the Marlins. And why not with our man, Jesus Luzardo, 2.61 ERA in his last 7 starts. He's got a 3.63 ERA this season. The widely reported steam, it came in on the Marlins. Luzardo, 7-3 are the Marlins in Luzardo's last 10 road starts. He has appeared in the playoffs before, 3 playoff games, 2 starts, a 5.91 ERA. Zach Wheeler, he's been in 6 playoff games, a 2.78 ERA, and a 1-3 record. A long, strong history for Zach Wheeler against the Marlins. He's practically had a career against him. 2.28 ERA with a 10-4 record in 22 career starts. Phillies were blistering down the stretch. They won 8 of their last 11 games. They won 6 of their last 7 games at home. As far as the Marlins are concerned, They needed to win down the stretch, and they did. They won 5 of their last 7 games. They've also played pretty well on the road, winning 10 of their last 16. And Miami, if you outside of the pandemic year, they made the playoffs in the pandemic year, but before that, it was 20 years ago. So, congratulations to Skip Schumacher and the Marlins here. I'm on it. I mean, I want to take them here. I wish we were getting a little better price at $1.40 or $1.35. Not sure I can get away from the Marlins here in this first game. I want to take the Marlins. Wheeler 4-0 in his last 7 starts with a 3.73 ERA, and the Phillies have gone 7-2 in his last 9 starts. But I have a feeling that the Marlins, hopefully, let's see what this lineup's going to look like today. Because you're going up against the Phillies, you're going to need to produce some offense, certainly. This Phillies team, I've got them rated as my number 2 lineup coming into the postseason, but I think Luzardo is going to have some advantages over some of the Phillies, right? I mean, this is a matchup where it will be trouble, right, for that top of the lineup a little bit. Okay, I get it, with Schwarber and Bryce and Stott, but that should be, some that Luzardo can hold his own against, I would think, against those guys. See what his numbers are here against some of these guys. Schwarber's 2 for 9. Bryce is 1 for 6. This expected lineup looks like basically 13 hits and 69 plate appearances with just 1 home run. It was by Schwarber. Schwarber's 2 for 9. Trey Turner's 0 for 9. Bryce Harper's 1 for 6. JT's 1 for 14. I saw someone calling for a JT homer there in the chat. So Stott is 4 for 6. Castellanos 2 for 9. Alec Boehm is 1 for 12. So Luzardo, good numbers here against this Phillies, against some of these Phillies hitters for sure. All right. A few more comments from you and we'll move on. I'm going to be here on Miami. As I said, I'm going to take Luzardo in this one. So we got a few comments here. And let's see. Furley's going under here with the Phillies and the Marlins. And this one he likes a pitcher's duel. And Maurice says, give me Marlins on the run line. And PZ says, you have the Phillies over the Dodgers. That's nuts. Did I see who has the Phillies? Talking about a national. Did someone make a prediction there? I can't. All right, I don't see it, but all right, I'll be on the Marlins here in this one with Luzardo. Hey, Luzardo's been profitable. I'm going to take a shot with Luzardo here. Darren likes the over in this one. Virginia King inquiring about the status of Luis Ariz. Don't see any issues there. Okay, let's move on. That's it for baseball. Appreciate it. Any more comments, picks? That's your last call. I'll take the Marlins in this one with Luzardo. Appreciate you guys and the picks. I'm going to take a sneak peek at about 5 football games here and wrap it up for the day. The WNBA could get a clue here. Game one of the WNBA finals is set, or like today would be the day, right? I mean, you know. Oh, Peasy, I got you. Yeah, nice. Yep, and maybe that's what it is right now. So don't get me wrong, I have the Dodgers to go all the way, but you know why. So I'm taking the Dodgers right now to go all the way in this one, this postseason, just because they're the Dodgers. I don't like them, but I love to bet on them.